What's good? What's good? What's good? Hope everybody had a good day. This is actually a redo. This is actually a redo from earlier today. There we go. All right, y'all. I'm doing this redo from earlier. I was like mad distracted, extremely distracted earlier. So I was like, let's redo this. Let's go ahead and redo this. So I'm here again, and yeah, redoing this money long or whatever. So yeah, we're about to do it. This is gonna be probably be a little quicker, so I won't be before you long if anyone is on yet. I'm just adding this thumbnail real quick. Bam, and boom. I think we on. All right. So yeah, so this song, this Money Long song, it's actually pretty cool. It's perfect for guitar, to be honest with you, even though I don't think it was written for guitar or on guitar, but it's pretty fitting for guitar. I'll say that, like where the key is and where the fingerings are, where the like hand positions are and everything. But I would say this is still like an intermediate level tutorial, in my opinion. You still gotta, it's still like like I said, your normal hand positions, but it's a little more extended. It's not like your regular major seventh. Like one of the chords is a little tricky, but I like it. So, so to start off, I do want to say in the description, I have a few links, that may be useful to you if you're trying to increase your dexterity. Check those out. It's just like a few little things that'll strengthen your hands, capos, as well as a mini course for intermediate to, beginner to intermediate players, if you want to take advantage of that. The mini course is free. The other stuff is just like affiliate links. All right. So check those out if you want to. But let's get into the chords. Let's start with these chords, man. Again, I'm redoing this from earlier today. I don't know why I wanted to go live during lunchtime. On Mondays, it's not the best time, but the other days it actually works pretty well. So anyway, this song is actually in the key of G minor, and it's relative to B flat. Okay, so it's relative to B flat and B flat major. So the chord progression based off of B flat major is we got E flat major 9. We got that chord. Let me show you that, because this time I actually made charts real fast. Excuse me. And I hope everything is going well with everybody. But yeah, so here's the first shape. Now when we're talking about shapes, most guitar players are familiar with the major 7th shape. Okay, so if we were to play on your E flat fret right here, which is the 6th fret of your A note, your A string. So this is the way that you play it. And some of you are familiar with that. Now here's a regular E flat major. It sounds real straightforward. But if you flatten that 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, that 1, flatten that back to a 7 right here. That's why it's a major 7th. So anyway, the reason why the major 9 is a major 9 is because 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. If you were to extend it past the 1. So we want to play this. We definitely want to play the 7th. Anytime you're playing a major 9th, you're playing the 7th and 9th. Okay? So you're playing those two notes. And you're playing the 1 and the 3. So that's why it's a major 9th. So that's where that is. And you can see the chart right here, all right? The next chord is, yeah, a G minor 7. So you can see where that is. You pretty much bar on the 3rd fret. You bar on the 3rd fret. And your ring finger, which is your ring finger and or your pinky, which I don't really recommend that, but your ring finger is 5th fret, A string, all right? We're pretty familiar with that one. That's how that looks, okay? All right. Next chord is actually, that's a D major 7. So that's 5th fret now. We're looking right here. Here are your frets, all right? So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's your 5th fret. That second dot is always your 5th fret. That first dot is always your 3rd fret. The 3rd dot is always your 7th fret. So 3, 5, 7. Easy way to remember that. Okay. And you're gonna do the major 7th. The minor 7th shape. You know, it's that same shape. If you play it from that A string right here, like one way to play a minor 7th is this way. Now you can do it in inversion. Like these are the same chord. The notes are just in a different order. So anyway, the one that we're playing is this one. All right, if I were to flip this camera upside down, it would look just like this. And remember, you're looking over your neck, your fretboard, it will look just like this. So 5th fret, you're barring, okay? And then your ring finger is a 7th fret D string, middle finger, 6th fret B string, all right? Another chord that we're playing is actually a C major, a C minor 7th, same exact shape. We're not gonna overthink it, same exact shape. All right, and that is right here. We're not gonna overthink that. And these are all the chords in the song. Oh, one more chord, it's a F11. All right, so that's in the, what's that, the 8th fret? The 8th fret, and you're just barring your A, D, G, and B string. Now there are other ways to play it, but from the A string, you're pretty much just barring those 4 notes. If you want to incorporate the high E string some kind of way, you can. You could actually take your pinky and play that octave, play the octave of this. You could do that, all right? Another way to play this, if you find this F, actually, let's not play that there. Let's play that here. You can play it here. Play that there. And so you can play that in those 3 places. All of those are the same chord. All right. And feel free to ask questions if anybody is on. Feel free to ask questions. That's what this is for. It's also like a Q&A, and I may do more like Q&A style lives as well, because I also want to answer specific questions, even if it has nothing to do with this song. Or maybe I can do something that it'll give me ideas for future lives that'll actually help you out. Okay, so let's get started. I'm actually so those are the chords. You can rewind that back to see what those shapes are. I may not pull these shapes up throughout the lesson, so I'm doing it in the beginning first, and and just kind of doing it that way, because I'll be doing a lot of clicking. But anyway, Money Long, Made for Me. I got a drum loop this time, just to kind of help with context. Delton, what's up, man? So I'm not going to do the full chord progression right off, but I'm just going to demonstrate the chord though. So here's where the first one is. Actually, I'll do the first chord progression of the verse. And I don't know the lyrics, but here it is. Real straightforward. Still the verse. So that's pretty much how the verse goes. Okay. The chorus does the same thing, except there are a couple more chords added using the same chords that I showed you. Here's the chorus. I'm gonna speed it up. Song. That's the whole song, literally. It repeats that and it does it again for the verse and then for the chorus again. Now, for all the other colors, this is the part that actually like spices up the playing. I think it's Brian Michael Cox that's playing the piano, and I think it was like produced and co-produced Brian Michael Cox. I think it was JD, Jermaine Dupri. So you can tell this beat pattern is so JD, and you know it's just how he kind of goes. But anyhow, Brian Michael Cox, he plays some like colors that actually makes it come together. So he's not just playing the regular and then just going to the next chord like this. That's cool, but that's kind of boring. You know what I'm saying? So he actually, I'm not going to play every single line that he plays, but he plays these lines between chords that kind of locks the chords together or kind of glues the chords together. PJ, what's up, man? I use Logic. Yeah, I'm Logic all day. I've used, I have in the past, I've used Pro Tools. I've used Nuendo, which is like Cubase. I've used Cakewalk, Sonar, Reason, and I think the very first software that I used was Fruity Loops, which is now called FL Studio. But like this is 20 years ago, yo. Like I still got instrumentals from the year 2000. You know what I'm saying? But that was the first thing that I started with. Then I went to like Cakewalk. It was software, a DAW called Cakewalk. I think it was Sonar. I think that's what that was called, Cakewalk Sonar. I used Reason lightly, and then I was heavy on Nuendo, which is like Cubase. And then and Pro Tools was for mixing. I did a little bit of production, a little bit. Ableton, I like Ableton. I'm just not familiar with Ableton. But in church, we use Ableton for live sets. It's great. It's great for live sets. The MIDI can be routed to actually program lights, like lighting and stuff like that. So yeah, we used to use Logic for like the stage for the set, praise and worship set, but we're off Logic for that, and we use Ableton for that. But I know a couple of cats who use Ableton, and they do their thing. So if I were to move to another software, I would probably try Ableton out for music production. But it's great for live programming. You could do stuff on the fly that is like real cool in Ableton, and that's what it's geared toward. So yeah, with kind of gluing the chords together, it's not enough to, Just sustain the chord. Unless you're overdubbing and you just want to go. Actually, you can score videos in Logic. You can't make videos in Logic. If you're talking about how I'm streaming this, I'm using Ecamm. That's what I'm using. ECAMM. As far as what I'm streaming it from. Yeah, but what I'm streaming this video from. But yeah, don't just sustain the chord unless you're like laying back a little bit and you want to overdub other chords on top of this. Then you want to color it. So you want to do little colors like that in between to kind of give it a little more flair. All right. So what I believe that I heard Michael Brian Cox play was something like this, which is kind of what I just played, but actually he went. That's using the same notes in the chords, but just playing different orders of those things. And you can do all sorts of other, Now, it's also important not to overdo this. But if you're playing this like that's too much, but you can do it. It's cool. No, but they are coming though. To be honest with you, this YouTube channel is supposed to be based off of music production. But believe it or not, the way that I started playing guitar was through music production. That's how I started. I literally would just play one chord with a drum track like you're doing, and I would play one chord and copy and paste and just copy, paste, and that was like my track. And then I got tired of doing that. I got tired of just copy and pasting. Then I started doing 2 chords, then 3 chords. Then I got tired of doing that. I was like, I want to play the full length of the track. And that's what led to me playing full length, like all the way throughout the song. You know what I'm saying? That inspired me to do that. And plus I was inspired by other things too. But yeah. So yes, they are definitely coming, because that's actually how I started playing guitar. Is basically sampling myself. I didn't want to sample. It was very popular to sample records, especially I'm an 80s baby. So sampling was like crazy. So I wanted to have a sampled sound, but it be me. So I messed around and then learned all the other chords. So, but yeah, I got tired of doing one chord, and then I would do 2 chords, and then I would loop that, you know what I'm saying, and then do it for a full length of a track. So I'm glad you asked that, because it keeps me reminded that that's something that people are wanting. Okay, and for me, all it takes is one. If one person needs it, then that's one represents thousands in my mind. Okay, so, yep, yeah, man, yeah. So I gotcha. I can use this software to actually screen record and screen share, and yeah, I gotcha. So they are coming, and oh yeah, and while I'm at it, Like I got another channel. I got another channel with my music production actually. If you go to the bottom of my YouTube page, it's called I should remember the name of the page, right? But it's called Instrumental Retreat Music. If you go to the bottom of my YouTube page, and it's an icon with headphones with a rest note in between it. That's my page too. And I got a 24/7 live stream on it. And all of that, all of those are my instrumentals. And that's not even all of them. I mean, it's probably like 40 instrumentals looping, and I'm posting them, and so all that stuff. So, but yeah. Anyhow, sorry about that. But yeah, to tie these in, let me play the because I like to make this reference, and like I said, it is it's in B major, but it's the relative of B major, which is G minor. So the way you find that, you're playing the major scale and you count to 6. Because the relative minor is the 6th, it's the 6th mode of the major scale. So for those of you who may not know that, I mean, maybe that's something that can be useful for you. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That's what makes that minor. And the reason why I say it's the 6th mode is because every note on the scale is the root of a chord. So if I were to play every chord within the B flat key, so that goes with this major scale. Okay. If you can memorize that, for those of you who don't know this, if you can memorize these chords, it translates to other keys. So it's not only this doesn't only apply to the B flat major key. You can go to A. And it's the same shapes. It's literally the same shapes. So for those of you who don't know, it might look like I'm doing a lot, or like any other guitar player is doing a lot, but once you memorize it in one key, and the same thing is true on piano. The same thing. It's just the black keys get in the way, and the white, that kind of confuses things, but the shapes are the same. Now, when you get into the diminished chords and stuff like that, you know, it can get a little tricky, but the major and minor chords, all that stuff, it's the same. You just gotta memorize that. You gotta lock that in. And when you can do that, you can learn songs like this Money Long song like really, really fast. After that, it's a matter of coloring it. After you get the lines, you color inside the lines. So anyway, let's run that track one more time, because I want to go over one more thing that just kind of adds to the flair of playing chords. All right. Okay. So after doing this, like I was doing wrong. You know, you got that stuff. Now, instead of playing this, you can play it higher. You know what I'm saying? You could play it higher, which is just a way to mix in with the lower chords, okay? And again, you learn all this stuff by knowing your major scale. All this stuff comes from knowing the major scale. Because right here, playing the same notes over and over. Like, if I can locate where all these notes are, which they repeat over and over, all up and down this neck, as it pertains to one key, then I'm just like water. You see what I'm saying? So this chord is the same as this chord in terms of an inversion, like playing the inversion of that chord. Okay. So after you learn the main chords, now it's time to learn your inversions. Okay, and now you can play them in different places now. Okay, and now you can do stuff up and down the neck. That's wrong one. I already played that one. What's the next one? But I'm just showing you that you can play the same chord in different places. And one aim for me is that I get a little, maybe not annoyed, but like I like to help take the intimidation away. You know what I'm saying? If someone if they genuinely want to learn the guitar, I like to help take that away by and I don't mean to be like, oh, it's easy. You know, as long as you're eager to learn it, like I'm eager to show you. But with this song, these chords are easy enough, in my opinion, where you can practice, you can like really get the feel of R&B chords, very familiar shapes, and you can get started pretty quickly, or you can advance pretty quickly. So if y'all ain't got no more questions, I mean, we can end it. Otherwise, I can like just share a couple more tips, and I'll see y'all the next time. But if you got some requests, you know, that'll be helpful too. I'm really trying to do songs that are leading up, you know, to like for the Valentine's Day thing. So if y'all ain't noticed, that's that's what I'm doing. All right. So anyhow, let's play this one more time. And I'm about to experiment with maybe some other lines to kind of tie the chords in. So, of course, she's singing on top of this, but the part when she's like, nobody, that part is right there, it's right in this chord. It's like inside the chord too, you know what I'm saying? So you can tell that they really thought about writing and producing the song. They were not random about where they placed the chords. And sometimes you can hear, if you're paying attention, you can tell they're not even paying attention as to where they're placing their notes in their melodies. Don't even make no sense. But another way I can play this. I could do it that way. So, PJ, I'll definitely be sharing some videos because I have to tie it in with my instrumental channel as well, and I can't do separate pieces. I have to make it make sense and show the process on this channel and then post it on that channel on the instrumental retreat music. That's the name of it. That's the name of that channel. But and I got like 15 subscribers, so if y'all want to help me build that up, that would be helpful. But again, I got links in the description. You may see more. You know, I'm working on some free resources, and yeah, it's just something that y'all can have, and that's pretty much it. But yeah, if there are no more questions, I am headed out. I really appreciate you all, for those of you who came through. And if there's like a time that works for everybody, you know, when I see you all come through, you know, suggest a time. Otherwise, I'm gonna just kind of pick a random time and see what it works. Of course, I look at my analytics and I see what works that way too. But all right, guys, I love y'all. I'll see you later. Peace.